ground, Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra ready to copy IFR clearance to Lowney.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra is cleared to Lowney Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 30 climb and maintain 10,000 feet. Departure frequency is 126.5 squawk 0646.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra cleared to Lowney Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 30 climb and maintain 10,000 feet. Departure on 126.5 squawk 0646.
Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra read that correct. Contact ground on 121.7. Good day.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra with Oscar ready to taxi IFR.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra taxi to and hold short of runway 30 using taxiway Kilo Juliet Hotel Delta. Contact tower on 118.1 when ready.
Taxi to and hold short runway 30 using taxiway Kilo Juliet Hotel Delta Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra. Tower Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra at runway 30 ready for departure IFR to Lowney.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra altimeter 30.39er wind 305 at 14. Cleared for takeoff runway 30.
Cleared for takeoff runway 30 Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra. Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra. Melbourne Center Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra is passing 900 feet, climbing 10,000 feet.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Melbourne Center altimeter 30.39er. Continue as planned.
Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus team up.
Oh my god, oh my god!
Epic stories. Tons of shows and movies.
I wasn't supposed to still be here right now. This morning I was supposed to be on a bus that was going to take me from here in Kishinev, Moldova, down to the border and into Odessa in Ukraine before getting a night train tonight up to Kiev in the Ukraine. With everything that's going on right now over the border, a few miles that way, in Ukraine, well, it just didn't seem like a great idea to be kind of trawling through, whipping my camera out, filming around various places, stations and airports and things in Ukraine with everything that they've got going on there. It's not a great situation over there right now. So I've spent today trying to find an alternative way around this, and essentially I booked myself a little flight out of here today to get me to the next point in my route, skipping Ukraine on this occasion sadly, and carrying on with my filming. So here then, back at Kishinev International Airport for my ride. Today we're taking Turkish Airlines down to Istanbul to take me out of Moldova and let me continue on my trip. Right, through security, I'm trying to find a lounge now. Got to wait and hopefully get some coffee, any coffee. Okay, the lounge isn't up there, so I'm gonna have a wander around see if I can find it. Caffeine is calling me. Okay, so it is back upstairs, apparently, so let's go upstairs. Well, I'm very confused now because I can't see any lounge in this part of the building at all. Let's go and have another wander. So interestingly, Turkish Airlines business class doesn't give you lounge access here in Kishinev. I've had to use my priority pass to get in. So never mind. Got my caffeine and a little bit of healthy breakfast as well to get me going until we get on the plane. So given my impromptu exit from Moldova today, I figured I'd use this opportunity today to go through some of your most asked questions that I get asked like all the time. I do answer them quite a bit on my Instagram, but I figured that this would be a great opportunity to do it in video form and go through some of the stuff that you guys asked me, so stay tuned and I will be going through my most asked questions in this video. Alright, time to go and get on board the flight with Turkish Airlines today over to Istanbul in Turkey.
During your boarding process, passenger admission осуществляется в небольших группах. Соответственно, attention please to present your passes and identity cards.
Can I board yet or?
You must wait.
Still wait.
You have a bill, so
Yes.
you must stand for you.
Oh, they have a separate bus?
Yes.
Okay, right, okay, thank you. Absolute chaos here. They've got like 2 gates that are boarding, but apparently business class we have to wait because there's a special bus for us, so we have to wait for other people to board first. But they're not really making any announcements, so it's kind of, nobody knows what's going on. Never mind. Hopefully we'll be on board soon.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra frequency change. Melbourne Center Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra is type Cessna C25C 1 miles east of Hobart 400 feet. Request flight following.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Melbourne Center. Squawk 0025.
Squawk 0025 Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra.
Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra radar contact 1 miles northwest of Hobart 1,700 feet. Altimeter 30.39er.
Roger Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra. 20.7 Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra. Melbourne Center, Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra 2,200 feet.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Melbourne Center altimeter 30.42 continuous planned. X-Ray Golf Sierra contact Melbourne Center on 122.6. Good day.
122.6 for Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra. Melbourne Center, Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra 2,800 feet.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Melbourne Center altimeter 30.42 continuous planned.
center Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra is type Cessna C-25C 1 miles north of Yankee Sierra Romeo November 300 feet. Request flight following.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Melbourne Center. Squawk 3577.
Squawk 3577 Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra.
Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra radar contact 3 miles north of Yankee Sierra Romeo November 1,800 feet. Altimeter 30.35.
Roger Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra.
Thank you very much. The minibus. Thank you very much. Appreciate your help. Thank you. Well, that was tense. I didn't think I was going to make that then. Had to fill in my locator form for Turkey, which I didn't realise I needed. So, yes, all good fun. Travelling in a minute. But, done. And on the minibus, I think I'm the only passenger in business class today. So, I might have the cabin to myself.
Welcome to the Disney Bundle, where Disney Plus. Hulu and ESPN Plus come to life on
Good morning. Hi, good morning. Hello, how are you? Thank you. Hi, good morning. Thank you. Right, so on board the Turkish Airlines Airbus A321 heading down to Istanbul. A short flight today, around about an hour and a half, I think. Interesting experience boarding here in business class for this flight. They kind of put you in a separate van right at the very end, so it feels very exclusive. Everyone else is already on board and you're literally one of the last people to board. It's actually pretty cool, especially when you're the only one in the van as well, although there is some more passengers in business class just turned up as well, so that's cool. Got my OG. So we're going to have that, and then very soon we'll be on our way down to Istanbul. So the first question that I get asked all the time is, do I pay for my own flights? And the answer to that is a resounding yes. If an airline offers me a seat on a flight for free, generally I will say no. Unless there's a couple of exceptions. For example, an airline offering me tickets to a press event or something, or a delivery flight, or perhaps a flight that the general public can't actually buy seats on, in which case I will potentially take it and then give a full disclosure in the video that I have had the flight comped by the airline. In general, though, airlines don't like giving away seats for free unless you are a massive YouTuber with millions of subscribers. I've only ever been offered a flight for free a couple of times, and to be honest, I've only ever accepted one once, with a full disclosure at the time that I'd accepted it, and that's kind of the reason I don't do it anymore. An airline approached me, offered me a free seat on a flight. They didn't pay me, they just gave me a free ticket somewhere, and it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel genuine. I did give a full disclosure in the video at the time that the airline had given it to me, and the airline had said to me that I needed to be completely impartial and honest throughout, but at the end of the day, when an airline gives you a free seat, they're not doing that for you to give them a bad review. And you do have to give the video to the airline before it's released so that they can sort of vet it and approve it. So in that reason, it kind of meant that although I didn't have to, I kind of felt like I had to sugarcoat some of the issues that I had and things like that. And yeah, I don't do it anymore. So if an airline offers me a free seat, generally I will say no, and I pay for all my flights myself through the company. I always put the cost per video at the end of the video as well, so you guys know exactly how much I've paid. and the arrangements around that. And just like that, it's breakfast time. It's amazing, lovely warm bread as well. So question number 2 is, how did I get started doing YouTube, and how did I get to do this as my full-time job? Well, if you look back at some of my really early videos, the really cringy, horrible ones, you kind of get a bit of an idea of how it all started. I worked in IT for many years. I did a bit of travelling through my IT job, and I just used to film when I used to take a flight, you know. Stick a video on YouTube thinking it would be good for me to watch back at a later date, and eventually sort of people started subscribing, and I ended up getting a few subscribers out of it, and realising that I could maybe make some money out of it, and maybe even make a living out of it one day, which is kind of what I did. And I worked for many years in IT, building up the YouTube thing on the side, and then one day I just announced to my boss that, oh, by the way, I was leaving my nice cushy IT consultant job to take a job as a full-time YouTuber at the age of 40, which is kind of in hindsight maybe a little bit daft, but we made it work, and it ended up going all right, and to the point where I'm still here doing it full-time, sort of 3 years later now, actually, which is incredible, really. I wouldn't be able to do it without all of you guys watching the videos, of course, and obviously without the support of my family, my wife, and the whole family and everybody around us. I wouldn't be able to do it without any of those, so big up to them as well. Did I just say big up? That's weird, isn't it? I see, I'm not cool. I try to be cool as a YouTuber. You know, you've got these really super cool YouTubers like Mr. Beast and people like that, and then there's me riding on planes and talking crap for 20 minutes a week, but anyway, so that's how I got where I am today. Question at number 3, why don't I ever fly in economy? And I get that asked question all the time, only on my business class videos, never on any of the multiple economy class videos that I release often, although ironically I'm sat here in business class while I'm explaining this, but effectively I do fly in economy a lot. In fact, like 60 or 70% of my flights are in economy. I just don't film them all. I do stick them on here periodically if they're interesting, but like a lot of the time economy class videos there's not really much to show. You get a seat and you get a meal if you're lucky on a lot of airlines, not even that these days. And as much as I do fly in economy all the time, I feel that releasing videos of all of my Ryanair and EasyJet flights probably aren't going to do quite as well on YouTube as watching me fly in business class on the world leading airlines, or watching me take random airlines all around the world. You've got to make an interesting video at the end of the day, and as much as a lot of people would like to see the economy class videos, it's not really what I do. So I don't know, if you want to see more economy class, let me know. Like I say, I do film or do fly an awful lot in economy class when I'm positioning between flights and stuff, but I don't typically tend to film them because really there isn't a lot to show, and unfortunately the views on the videos kind of reflect that as well. You know, if I make an economy class video, people typically aren't that interested in watching it as they are watching somebody experience business class. That said, I don't pay a lot for my business class tickets, as you guys know. I often get them really cheap. I take advantage of cheap upgrades. I use miles and stuff for them, so it's not like I'm forever splashing the cash, paying a fortune for flights in business class. But I do make videos in business class because they tend to do better on the platform, really. So question number 4, and that is about how I go about filming these videos and the fact that I must always be travelling because I release a new video every week. I'm going to let you into a little behind the scenes secret here. Most aviation YouTubers, myself included, aren't constantly travelling. For me in particular, I film in batches, and I think a lot of people do the same thing because it would just be exhausting travelling constantly and being away from home all the time. For me, I tend to make trips these days around 2 weeks long, film maybe 3 months worth of content out of those 2 weeks, and then drip feed them out over the next sort of 2 or 3 months. So the video you're watching could have been filmed last week, or it could have been filmed up to 3 months ago, for example, depending on the order that I release the videos in and stuff like that. I used to, like, when I first started doing this full time, I was filming a week, being at home for a week, filming a week, being at home for a week, but then COVID happened. And when COVID happened, it meant that I sort of ended up having to rethink how I did that. And with the travel restrictions, it was much easier just to go somewhere, film the heck out of it for a couple of weeks, and then go home for a few months and then ride out any restrictions that were in place at home. And that's sort of how I started doing it that way, and actually realised it makes much more sense, because at the end of every trip now, I go home and I'm at home with the wife and the kids, enjoying family life and working from home for several weeks, maybe months before I go on my next trip. It gives me plenty of time to rest and relax, because these filming trips can be really, really intense, and with constant travelling every single day, it does take it out of you, especially when you get into like over 40 like I am. It's not the sort of thing that over 40s tend to do, but and it does wear you out a lot more, and I certainly feel it when I get home from a trip, and I'm aching all over because I've been constantly on and off of planes or trains or buses for the last couple of weeks. So yeah, you can't do it like that. You just have to do the whole kind of do a few weeks and then have a few months at home. So then question number 5, and the big one that I get asked constantly, is how do I afford to pay for all my flights? I must be absolutely minted. I must be like a millionaire to be able to travel around the world in business class all the time, and I'm afraid that that's not true. I really wish it was. If I was a millionaire, I don't think I'd be flying around, flopping around, making YouTube videos for a living. I think I'd be having a much more leisurely life at home maybe, but no, it's good fun. I love what I do. And the way I pay for it basically is through the businesses that I own. So I own 2 companies here, IFE Media Limited in the UK, and then we've got an LLC arm over in the US. Those companies essentially we use for administration purposes, for tax reasons and stuff like that. So we pay all of our taxes through the companies that we run. The UK one is for all of our UK expenses. The American one is for all of our American expenses.
Tower Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra is 3 miles south 1,000 feet with India to land.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Melbourne Tower. Altimeter tree 0.24 wind 04 8 at 8. Fly straight in runway tree 4. Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra, follow the aircraft on final. Wind 04 8 at 8. Clear to land runway tree 4.
Make straight in runway tree for Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra.
Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra, go around. Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra, please acknowledge. Singapore 227, turn next taxiway. Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra, you are not cleared to land. Clear the runway. Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra, you are not cleared to land. Clear the runway.
The companies, we've got contractors and employees working for us, doing different jobs, but keeping, accounting. We've got a virtual assistant over in the States who's helping with a lot of stuff behind the scenes. We've got video editors, we've got captioners, all doing an absolutely amazing job, and we pay all of those through the company, depending on which country they're in, whether we pay through the UK company or the American army, essentially. And one of those expenses that we have is the massive one, which is travel expenses, and that all goes through the company. So any flights that I take are paid for through the company. Thank you very much. Thank you. got me hot towel, hang on. Oh wow, that's hot, that's really hot. So in terms of how the company makes money, well, the money that we get in comes from a variety of sources, primarily though from advertising revenue on YouTube and Facebook. And basically you get an advert pop up in the video every so often, which incidentally we don't actually control where they go, so I apologise if you get multiple adverts on some videos. That's all down to how YouTube do it. We leave it up to them to place the adverts, but essentially the money, every time an advert gets shown, we make a few pennies, and when you get to a certain point and you're making you're getting hundreds of thousands of views on your videos, well, obviously it soon starts building up. And for us, probably about 80% of our income is from advertising revenue. On top of that, we've got sponsorships from the companies that pay us to put an integration into a video, and those companies give us a little bit of money, and we'll publish like a 60-second read for them in the video. I'm very careful in terms of what companies that I do use. It has to be a good fit for the channel. Basically, I turn down far more opportunities for sponsorships than I accept, because a lot of them are just absolutely no fit at all. Like, I'll get people offering me cookware and things like that to show in the videos. I'm like, how am I going to show that? Aside from wonderful VPN companies like Surfshark sponsoring our videos, and anybody else who we take on to sponsor the videos, we make a little bit of money then on top. Probably about 5% of our total income comes from either our wonderful Patreon supporters or merchandise sales through the website noelphillips.com, which sells my amazing merch with my face emblazoned on it and all sorts of other bits and pieces. Like my cool socks, which you can buy. I'll pop a link up on the screen up here, and you can buy my amazing socks from the merch store. But again, it accounts for a very, very small amount of money, usually less than like $100 a month, I'd say, at the end of the month, that we get from merchandise for the time we've paid for the costs involved in it. Things like that really just are kind of subsidiary income at the end of the month. Out of all of that, then, I take a salary, a modest salary albeit, as do the other people who work for the company, and obviously we have to pay all of our contractors and things out of that, and then effectively the rest kind of just goes to pay for flights and pay for me to be able to do this and make these videos for you every week, which is really cool. So yeah, I really appreciate every single one of you who watches these videos and allows me to carry on doing this, because just by watching the videos you're helping the channel grow and helping me to be able to make more videos going forward, which is incredible. So thank you so much for that. I don't get paid any money, as I mentioned earlier, by any airlines or anything like that. So some people may, I don't know. I've heard rumours of some people who get paid by the airlines to show their products. I don't, and I would refuse to, as I mentioned earlier in the video. But I'll be honest, it ain't a bad job to have, is it, doing this as a living? And I'm feeling incredibly lucky that I'm able to do this. It's my passion, my love of planes and trains and travel, and I'm able to do this just as my job. It's absolutely incredible, and I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart to every single person who watches the videos and has helped me to get to this position where I am today. I really appreciate it.
So get this, every 1.2 seconds, a new user goes to Wix.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Gal Pacific. We did a go around and we are making a second approach for the Istanbul. Within 10 minutes we will be on the ground. That's what we are planning. Thank you for your understanding and flight. Thank you.
It's been a while since I've been on board a go-around. That was pretty cool, wasn't it? I'm not sure entirely what happened there. They didn't really give much explanation, but we're going around and we're going to go and try again to land at Istanbul. It seemed a little bit blustery on approach. I wonder if that was the thing, they were hand flying it, and it got quite blustery and we seemed to get a little bit slow, just in my opinion looking out the window. That could be completely wrong, but I think, well, obviously they made the professional decision to do a go-around, so we are going round again. We will try once more to land at Istanbul. So this time, on approach again now, and this time the autopilot hasn't been disconnected. I've not heard the autopilot disconnect on this approach, so I think they may be letting the autopilot do the hard work with these winds as we get a little bit closer. Good lord, that was a bit hairy. Yes, bravo, bravo. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. So this is my first time actually coming through the new Istanbul airport. I flew through Ataturk quite a lot, and I have to say it's much improved over the old Istanbul airport. It's crazy, it's massive. It's like Dubai or somewhere. It's amazing. Ironically, one of the questions I was going to answer on that flight, and I decided not to because there wasn't enough time, was do I ever get nervous on board a flight? And usually the answer is no. I could have done with answering that one really, because on that one I was getting a little bit nervous on the second go-around, on the second landing that we did after the go-around. It was very windy, very blustery, lots of power changes at very low level. I was getting a little bit itchy in my seat on that one, I have to say. But normally, yeah, I don't actually get that nervous. The go-around itself I wasn't nervous about. I knew what was going on pretty much. But yeah, the second one, as you get a little bit lower to the ground and you're wobbling around quite a lot, you're like, ooh, this doesn't feel nice. But we made it.